Vídeo dança.
What?
Dando com shortinho de dormir. Com shortinho de dormir.
Isso tá bom demais. Isso tá bom demais. Joga pra frente, joga pra trás. Joga pra frente, joga pra trás. Joga pra frente, joga pra trás. Joga pra frente, joga pra trás.
Yeah, boy.
Joga pra trás.
Vídeo dança.
It may not mean nothing, y'all.
Dando com shortinho de dormir.
God of War. God of Pain.
Com shortinho de dormir.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Fatality.
Isso tá bom demais. Isso tá bom demais. Joga pra frente, joga pra trás. 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 Joga pra
Vídeo dançando com shortinho de dormir. Shortinho de dormir.
Isso tá bom demais. Isso
Out with the superstar, 18-year-old kid.
tá bom demais. Joga pra frente, joga pra trás. 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 Joga pra frente,
Vídeo dançando com shortinho de dormir. Com shortinho. something I want. Puxa, de dormir.
Isso tá bom demais. Isso tá bom demais. Joga pra frente. Joga pra trás. Joga pra frente. Joga pra trás.
What? What?
Dançando pro shortinho de dormir. Puxa, puxa, puxa. Puxa, 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 puxa. Shortinho de dormir. Puxa, 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 puxa,
Isso tá bom demais. Isso tá bom demais. Joga pra frente, joga pra trás. Joga pra frente, joga pra trás.
Damn, baby, all I need is a little bit. Out of war. God of pain.
Fatality. Vídeo dançando pro shortinho de dormir. Puxa, 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 shortinho de dormir. Puxa, 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 puxa,
Isso tá bom demais. Isso tá bom demais. Joga pra frente, joga pra trás. Joga pra frente, joga pra trás. Joga pra frente, joga pra trás.
vídeo dançando pro shortinho de dormir. Puxa,
Son of a bitch.
puxa, 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 shortinho de dormir.
Isso tá bom demais. Joga pra frente, joga pra trás. Joga pra frente, joga pra trás. Joga pra frente, joga pra trás.
Vídeo dançando com shortinho de dormir.
Okay, I pull up, hop out at the after party.
Puxa, 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 shortinho de dormir. Puxa, 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 puxa.
Isso tá bom demais. Joga pra frente, joga pra trás. Joga pra frente, joga pra trás. Joga pra frente.
Flawless victory. Flawless victory.
Choose your character.
Prytonic versus Ethan the Goat. Round 1. Prytonic's belt grows absurdly long with Toon Force, slamming Ethan so hard the final paper cut splits both him and his stick in two. Round 2. Teleporting rapidly, Prytonic creates duplicates of himself, slapping Ethan from every angle with exaggerated cartoon hands.
Choose your character.
Christopher versus Trockley. Round 1. Trockley freezes time, warping the air above Christopher into a dense anvil. The massive weight crashes down, shattering Christopher's iron skin. Round 2. Liquefying his body, Christopher flows around Trockley, encasing him in a suffocating shell of water and gold until he collapses unconscious. Final round. Trockley increases his density to cosmic levels, slamming into Christopher with his scepter. The impact cracks Christopher's iron skin, leaving him incapacitated.
Choose your character.
Ginny versus Trevor. Round 1. Trevor folds space around Ginny, compressing him into a dense ball of obsidian, then shatters it at molecular levels with a resonating ukulele chord. Round 2. Trevor twists space as Ginny hurls the acid-coated bowling ball, redirecting it mid-flight. The ball hurtles back, melting through Ginny's obsidian form.
Choose your character.
Zack versus True Monk. True Monk manipulates Zack's blood to lock his limbs, then lands a critical molten kick that collapses his chest and sends him flying. Round 2. True Monk activates his built-in vacuum, dragging Zack and his horse toward him until Molten Punch obliterates them in a fiery detonation. Round 3. Zack mirrors True Monk's teleportation, blinking rapidly around the cyborg until he lands a coffin strike with crushing force, cracking the giant's molten torso.
Round 4.
True Monk teleports above Zack, slamming the ukulele into his face. The void touch burns through Zack's chaos aura, erasing both rider and steed from existence.
Choose your character.
Blaze Ninja vs. Sunday Story.
Round 1.
Blaze Ninja hurls his brick skyward, while distracting Sunday Story with mind-reading tricks. The brick then warps into a cosmic asteroid and crashes down, crushing the god of war.
Round 2.
Blaze Ninja manipulates the living Rampage weapon's memories, turning it against Sunday Story, who fails to react in time and suffers a lethal strike from his own weapon.
Choose your character.
Kenjaku vs. Sidhav.
Round 1.
Sidhav channels Chaos Force into an energy blast, hurling Kenjaku into the air before slamming them back down with a heavy claw strike.
Round 2.
Sidhav creates a swirling storm of radiation, weakening Kenjaku's circuits before delivering a crushing claw blow to their core.
Choose your character.
Scopeson vs. Gerbear.
Round 1.
Gerbear summons chains of void energy, binding Scopeson mid-flight, then creates a sphere of void around Scopeson, collapsing it inward until the Phoenix's fiery body is crushed and extinguished.
Round 2.
Gerbear warps reality, turning Scopson's flames into freezing ash before striking with a void-infused tail sweep that sends them flying.
Round 3.
Scopeson infuses their squirt gun with Chaos Force, firing molten flames that pierce Gerbear's void defenses and leave cracks in their scales.
Round 4.
Scopeson traps Gerbear in a sand cocoon, superheating it with pyromancy until it glows molten, scorching the dragon alive as it burns away inside.
Final round.
Scopeson summons a blazing tornado of fire and sand, engulfing Gerbear and forcing the dragon into a vortex that burns and erodes their scales.
Choose your character.
Chad vs. Cyan.
Round 1.
Cyan launches a relentless series of swings with Goblin's Bane, each strike fracturing Chad's skeletal frame and forcing the dragon to retreat.
Round 2.
Chad traps Cyan in a spatial field, hurling his cursed bottle into the zone, hitting the dwarf repeatedly until he collapses.
Final round.
Cyan swings the Goblin's Bane sword with such force that it splits the earth beneath Chad, the colossal blade slicing through the Dracolich's spine, leaving his skeletal body crumbling.
Choose your character.
Bell vs. Palisant.
What is the next step of the operation?
Round 1.
Bell dodges the primordial annihilation strike from the dwarf, retaliating with a blinking uppercut sent through another dimension, hitting Palisant square in the liver with shattering force.
Round 2.
Palisant corrupts reality to flood Bell's mind with visions of her own demise, paralyzing her with fear as his magma-fueled club crushes her chest in a horrifying impact.
Final round.
Palisade tears open a magma rift beneath Belle's feet, forcing her to leap into his waiting swing, where the Primordial Annihilation Club smashes her, leaving the Primordial collapsed and powerless.
Choose your character.
Bro versus Xerius. Round 1. Xerius channels Chaos Force into his wings, creating a vortex that pulls Bro into the air before slamming him into the ground. Round 2. Xerius seizes control of Bro's mind, forcing him to aim the antimatter launcher at his own chest, blasting a massive hole through his torso.
Choose your character.
Mr. Maldachild versus CJ. Round 1. The Tidal Tiger creates a swirling vortex around CJ, pinning him in place while Mr. Maldachild lands a precise air-accelerated shuriken to his shoulder. Round 2. CJ manipulates the tiger's mind, turning it against Mr. Maldachild, forcing him to dodge its attacks, while CJ lands a crushing void strike to his chest. Final round. CJ drags the Cyber Rhino metallic body toward him using magnetic manipulation, then slams his void-infused claws into the wearer Hino's chest, banishing him into the void.
Choose your character.
Heavenly Demon versus Sausage Dog. Round 1. Heavenly Demon shifts into an ethereal state, phasing through Sausage Dog's attack, then materializes behind them to unleash a flaming deflagration. Round 2. Heavenly Demon traps Sausage Dog in a vortex of water, disarming the spear, then smashes them with a flaming ukulele to the ribs.
Choose your character.
Connor versus Arda. Round 1. Arda multiplies into 100 illusions, all firing chaos-infused slingshot shots in unison. Connor stands unimpressed until one projectile transforms midair into a colossal chaos comet, smashing into his skull with cosmic force. Round 2. Connor morphs his arms into dual meatball launchers, firing molten obsidian spheres drenched in acid. Arda attempts to dodge, but Connor freezes time mid-motion. When time resumes, the spheres pierce his chest, leaving searing holes in his body. Round 3. Arda shapeshifts and attempt to riz up Connor. The symbiote, furious, erupts into a massive elemental deflagration, scorching the entire battlefield until the backlash of his own power knocks him flat.
Choose your character.
Jack in the Box versus Sean. Round 1. Jack in the Box manipulates probability, causing Sean's arrows to miss and ricochet endlessly before landing a critical hit on Sean's back. Round 2. Naturally in his final form, Sean outclasses his fellow god stats by a lot, and quickly removes all of Jack in the Box's powers with each knife stab. Final round. Sean fires a flamed finger knife with the Phoenix bow, then duplicates it mid-flight into 1,000,000 projectiles, overwhelming Jack in the Box with a storm of blades, making dodging impossible.
Choose your character.
Quandale versus Joe. Round 1. Quandale time jumps microseconds forward, creating a spiral of afterimages, each slicing from a different direction before the final slash strikes Joe's chest. Round 2. Joe inflicts pure pain directly into Quandale's nervous system, leaving him paralyzed as a brick strike caves in his chest with cosmic force. Final round. Quandale loops time mid-swing, forcing Joe to experience the same Guandao slash repeatedly, while amplifying the critical hit damage with each pass.
Choose your character.
Armili versus Nikomariko. Round 1. Armili's shadows surge from the ground, binding Nikomariko's arms wide, while a massive energy construct scythe slashes across their chest. Round 2. Nikomariko seizes Armili by the throat, negating their regenerative ability. Then German suplexes them with such force, the ground fractures beneath them. Final round. Armili darkens the battlefield, splitting into countless shadow clones that immobilize Nikomariko before hurling a massive energy spear straight through his core.
Choose your character.
Finn versus Arson. Round 1. Arson amplifies his sonic scream with chaos force and screams into his cauldron. Finn laughs, thinking he lost his mind until a portal opens behind him, redirecting the chaos scream into his spine. Round 2. Arson expands his cauldron into a dimensional vortex, swallowing Finn's comet attacks and redirecting them back at him with amplified energy.
Choose your character.
Jay versus Random Marine. Round 1. The Devil of Pain inflicts immeasurable agony on his opponent, each strike from his wooden sword warping time to trap him in an endless cycle of suffering. Then, viciously manipulating his emotions, he forces him to break down in tears, humiliating him further. Round 2. Random Marine releases a necrotic wave from his sword, disintegrating Jay's illusions and scorching his chest with corrupted energy.
Choose your character.
Spradling versus Fariel. Round 1. Spradling bends time mid-swing, delaying his strike just as Fariel dodges. The katana suddenly corrects, striking Fariel's shoulder from a future timeline. Round 2. Fariel disarms Spradling with his tickle-edge Nokia, making him drop his katana before smashing his head into the ground with a space-bending punch. Final round. Spradling spins his katana like a roulette wheel, with numbers glowing along the blade. It lands on 0, summoning a dimensional slash that slices through Fariel's. Ente versus Impu. Round 1. Imp Boo turns invisible, leaving Ente and his lion bamboozled until they're incinerated by a cosmic breath, reducing them to ash. Round 2. Impu hurls his acid-laced lasso into another dimension while invisible. It reappears beside the Voidwalker, catching him with no chance to escape as the acid dissolves his core almost instantly. Musam versus Aaron. Round 1. Musam binds Aaron with cosmic energy, then channels Chaos Force to amplify his flames, igniting the symbiote again and again until nothing remains to burn. Round 2. Musam summons a meteor, forcing Aaron to dodge straight into the steaming honey bun, flying at cosmic speed, burning him so deeply his regeneration fails.
Choose your character.
I Make No Sense versus JT. Round 1. JT slams his briefcase down, pinning the horseman to the ground with a gravity pulse before striking him again, the frozen enchantment turning him into solid ice. Round 2. I Make No Sense teleports, but JT instantly possesses him, tickling him relentlessly until a meteor crashes onto him while he's still laughing uncontrollably. Round 3. I Make No Sense freezes time repeatedly, striking JT with his bat each reset, compounding the damage until his chaos form fractures.
Final round.
The Apocalypse Horseman freezes time and unleashes a devastating baseball bat strike. But when time resumes, he realizes in horror his enemy took no damage due to invulnerability. The Chaos Reincarnation then fractures his skull with a seismic punch.
Choose your character.
Logan vs. Will. Round 1. The dragon strikes with his tickle-edge stick, the distraction allowing him to craft a swirling sphere of blood that engulfs his opponent, sealing and binding him with crimson chains.
Round 2.
The dragon manipulates the earth to trap Logan in a rock coffin, then unleashes an unavoidable cosmic breath to obliterate the vampire.
Choose your character.
Kabanda vs. Prey.
Round 1.
Kabanda hurls a bunch of rocks at Prey, an attack looking harmless until the goblin warps reality to accelerate them to universal speed, piercing her body like bullets.
Round 2.
Prey's katana dances at light speed, slicing Kabanda's rocks into dust before striking his core, leaving him bleeding from thousands of tiny cuts.
Final round.
Prey endures Kabanda's fiery onslaught, her demonic regeneration healing instantly before a paper-thin katana strike opens his chest.
Choose your character.
Liam vs. Gabriel.
Round 1.
The neutralizer outpaces his opponent, grabbing him mid-motion to negate all his powers before combusting him completely under his crushing grip.
Round 2.
Liam warps gravity, collapsing the space around Gabriel until his bones crack under the pressure, finishing with a combustive palm strike.
Choose your character.
The Lamb vs. Killer Bugs.
Round 1.
Killer Bugs burns the Lamb's baguette mid-swing with a firewall, then stabs his pencil through the flames, searing the Lamb's chest on impact.
Round 2.
The Lamb opens a portal beneath Killer Bugs, looping him infinitely, while each portal pass slams his head with a power-negating baguette strike.
Final round.
Killer Bug slashes the air with his pencil, tearing a dimensional rift that traps the Lamb in a firestorm before negating his power mid-burn.
Choose your character.
Camaro vs. Arlie.
Round 1.
Arlie extends his fur like tendrils, binding Camaro's limbs tightly before hurling multiple barbells into his chest, shattering his ribs on impact.
Round 2.
Arlie vanishes into thin air, reappearing behind Camaro and delivering a devastating claw strike to his spine, leaving deep, searing wounds.
Choose your character.
Joseph vs. Dixon.
Round 1.
Dixon mimics Joseph's invisibility, vanishing mid-fight before reappearing behind him, the squirt gun blasting water infused with cosmic energy.
Round 2.
Dixon seals space around Joseph, freezing his movements while water from the squirt gun bursts into a pressurized wave, slamming him into the ground.
Choose your character.
Assos vs. Pandrella. Assos enlarges himself, deflecting his opponent's energy blast as if it was harmless sparks, before he counters with a void-charged scythe strike. Round 2. Pandrella rides his Voidborn Vulture, unleashing rapid energy blasts from above, forcing Assos to shield himself, but failing to notice the scythe carving into his side. Final round. Assos swings his stat Siphon Void Scythe, siphoning Pandrella's combat mastery with each slash, his chaos aura surging as he overwhelms her with her own stolen skill and speed.
Choose your character.
Chronicle versus Avalanche. Round 1. Avalanche channels seismic energy, stomping the ground and launching Chronicle skyward before a second tremor smashes him mid-air. Round 2. Chronicle swings his chains wildly, wrapping around Avalanche and partially petrifying him, leaving the dragon vulnerable as the dwarf hurls a shuriken straight into his eye. Final round. Avalanche freezes time, maneuvering behind Chronicle before launching a seismic tail slam that fractures his ribs the instant time resumes.
Choose your character.
Skagalagging versus Dom. Round 1. Right before taking a baseball bat hit, the Primordial manifests a law reversing all inflicted damage, causing Dom to shatter his own skull with a flaming bat swing. Round 2. Skagalagging manipulates Dom's blood, locking his limbs in place before unleashing a rain of life-stealing arrows, draining his energy rapidly.
Choose your character.
The Omni-Farmer versus Reese. Round 1. The Omni-Farmer blasts Reese with his Thunderbolt, but he deflects the strike with his sword until the echo triggers a second surge and fry his entire body. Round 2. Reese drinks the Berserker Brew, smashing the ground with Goblin's Bane so hard, the shockwave hurls the Omni-Farmer into the air before a brutal mid-air slash. Round 3. The Omni-Farmer fakes a wide magma flail swing. Reese sidesteps but get caught by the laser blaster firing point blank at his chest.
Choose your character.
Palisant versus Arda. Round 1. Palisant projects his key to disintegrate Arda's chaos projectiles, then accelerates with Chrono Grace, reaching Arda instantly and smashing him into the ground, negating his power in the process. Round 2. Palisant slams his magma club into the ground, triggering a magma geyser that launches Arda skyward, making him an easy target for a crushing ki blast.
Choose your character.
Trevor versus Random Marine. Round 1. Random Marine unleashes a necrotic wave, erasing all of Trevor's clones before warping time with his sword, striking Trevor a second later in the future. Round 2. Trevor bends space to trap Random Marine, but the devil anchors reality, nullifying the distortion before hurling a chaos-forged javelin straight through his spectral form.
Choose your character.
Will versus JT. Round 1. JT possesses Will mid-swing, then force the dragon to smash his own face with the tickle edge stick before releasing control and teleporting behind him, fracturing his ribs with a seismic strike. Round 2. Will hurls a comet at JT, but the Soul Reaver frees time and tosses his frozen briefcase into the dragon's chest, triggering a gravitational vortex that pulls the comet back onto Will's face, detonating on impact as time resumes.
Round 3.
JT tanks Will's cosmic breath with invulnerability, teleporting with pinpoint precision to pummel the dragon repeatedly with his frozen briefcase until frost overtakes his entire body, leaving him encased in ice.
Choose your character.
Liam versus the Omnifarmer.
Round 1.
Liam blitzes the sluggish Omnifarmer, dodging every strike and pummeling him with combusted punches until nothing remains but a smoldering husk.
Round 2.
The Omnifarmer blinds Liam with a searing laser blast, then shatters his knee with a devastating swing of the magma flail, forcing him to kneel before delivering a finishing thunderbolt strike.
Final round.
Liam alters gravity, suspending Omnifarmer midair before combusting him, power negation blocking any chance of resurrection as flames consume the orc.
Choose your character.
Assos versus Sean.
No. Round 1.
Impu versus Killerbugs.
Round 1.
Killerbugs escapes into another dimension, but Impu breathes a devastating cosmic blast coupled with chaos through a portal, reaching Killerbug's dimension and catching him off guard.
Round 2.
From invisibility, Imp-Boo strikes with his lasso, entangling Killerbug's mid-leap, pulling him into a dimensional trap where the acid erodes him entirely.
Choose your character.
CJ versus Musum.
Round 1.
CJ uses magnetic manipulation to pull debris from all directions, encasing Musum in a sphere of crushing metal before smashing it with boundless strength.
Round 2.
Musum hurls his unblockable steaming honey bun at CJ. The werebear dodges at the last second, only for Musum to close the gap and drain his void manipulation powers.
Final round.
Musum absorbs CJ's magnetic powers and uses his opponent's debris sphere against him. As CJ tries to hold it back, Musum hurls his steaming honey bun, knocking the bear out cold.
Choose your character.
True Monk versus Armili.
Round 1.
Armili constructs an energy prison around True Monk, launching a relentless barrage of chaos-infused meatballs that pierce through the cyborg's armor and shatter his core.
Round 2.
Armili dissolves into shadows to evade True Monk's void-touched melodies, reappearing behind him to backstab him with an energy-constructed blade.
Choose your character.
Arson versus Quandale.
Round 1.
Arson unleashes a deafening sonic scream that destabilizes Quandale's focus, then hurls the dimensional cauldron like a meteor, crushing Quandale under its massive weight.
Round 2.
Quandale time travels to evade Arson's sonic scream, then swings his Guandao, teleporting mid-swing to strike Arson instantly, leaving no room to dodge the critical strike.
Final round.
Quandale phases his Guandao through Arson's dimensional cauldron, bypassing its defenses, and lands a devastating strike that splits his opponent.
Choose your character.
Trocoli versus Cyan.
Round 1.
Use Using precognition, Trockley predicts every move of Tyann to sidestep his strikes, then warps his scepter into a massive hammer, crushing Tyann under its density-augmented weight. Round 2. Tyann's immense durability allows him to endure Trockley's manipulations until he closes the distance and swings the goblin's bane sword with all his might, creating a devastating shockwave, tearing through the battlefield and slicing Trockley in half.
Final round.
As Tyann swings Goblin's Bane, Trockley freezes time, calmly steps aside, and lands a density-augmented punch, obliterating Tyann.
Choose your character.
Prey versus Arlie.
Round 1.
Prey dodges Arlie's barbell swing, then counter with endless paper-cut katana slashes, slicing Arlie into countless pieces.
Round 2.
Arlie smashes his barbell into the ground, creating a shockwave that topples Prey before delivering a knockout blow.
Final round.
Arlie tires himself out with wild attacks while Prey's regeneration keeps her standing, allowing her to strike a vital point with a deadly accurate katana strike.
Choose your character.
Spradling versus Heavenly Demon.
Round 1.
Spradling's katana spins as numbers flash like casino slots until it lands on number 2 and his katana turns into a harmless stick. But it catches the elemental off guard and frees time on impact, allowing the dwarf to deliver a chaos-infused kick straight to his opponent's chest.
Round 2.
Spradling's katana absorbs Heavenly Demon's fiery attack in another dimension, then redirects the flames back at the elemental with a deflagration strike.
Choose your character.
Avalanche versus Skagalagging.
Round 1.
Skagalagging teleports behind Avalanche mid-attack, his phoenix bow piercing the dragon's core with a life-draining shot.
Round 2.
As Avalanche prepares a sandstorm breath, Skagalagging manifests a law of silence, stifling the dragon's attack and disorienting it before launching a fiery arrow piercing through the dragon's scales.
Choose your character.
Sidhuff versus Dixon.
Round 1.
Sidhuff cloaks himself with camouflage, striking from nowhere with dimensional claws, slicing through Dixon's defense before unleashing a devastating radiation blast.
Round 2.
Dixon attempts telepathic control, but Sidhuff's energy blast disrupts his focus, allowing Sidhuff to close in and overpower him with heavy impact claws.
Choose your character.
Prytonic versus Xerius.
Round 1.
Prytonic teleports unpredictably, landing annoying paper-cut strikes from every angle, enraging Xerius, who counters with a Chaos Blast. But Prytonic swings his belt with such force that it redirects the blast straight into the dragon's face.
Round 2.
Channeling chaos into his belt, Prytonic unleashes a whirlwind of razor-sharp energy, overwhelming Xerius before landing a comically large punch to knock him away.
Choose your character.
Scopeson versus Blaze Ninja.
Round 1.
Blaze Ninja telepathically reads Scopeson's next move and counters with a perfectly timed teleport, appearing above the Phoenix and crushing it with the amplified force of his arcane brick.
Round 2.
Blaze Ninja smirks at his defeated enemy, but Scopeson emerges reborn, releasing a burst of fire that catch the god off guard.
Round 3.
As Scopeson unleashes a firestorm, Blaze Ninja manipulates its molecular structure, turning the flames into freezing ice that encases the Phoenix in a crystalline prison.
Final round.
Blaze Ninja manipulates Scopeson's memories, convincing the Phoenix it's fighting an ally. And as Scopeson hesitates, Blaze Ninja capitalizes by shooting his brick at him with cosmic speed.
Choose your character.
Prey versus Impu.
Round 1.
Impu vanishes into invisibility, reappearing above Prey to slam her down with boundless strength, and follows up with a cosmic breath, ensuring her demonic regeneration stands no chance.
Round 2.
Impu's lasso whips through dimensions, binding Prey with acid-coated chains before throwing her effortlessly into a vortex of pure chaos energy.
Choose your character.
Sidha versus Skagalagging.
Round 1.
The Primordial freezes time, but Sidhav anticipated and opened a portal to another dimension with his claws, then burst a devastating radiation blast, reappearing behind the Primordial.
Round 2.
Skagalagging summons a law that nullifies dimensional shifts, trapping Sidhav in place as the Primordial's Phoenix Bow fires at him from behind.
Final round.
Skagalagging fires an arrow at Sidhav, who catches it midair and redirects it at cosmic speed. The Primordial manages to dodge, but the Were-Tiger, now invisible, backstabs him with a heavy impact claw strike.
Choose your character.
Truckily versus Prytonic.
Round 1.
Truckily attempts precognition, but Prytonic's Chaos Force makes it impossible. The demigod then starts teleporting with unpredictable patterns before slapping Truckily from an impossible angle.
Round 2.
Truckily endures Prytonic's relentless chaos, manipulating time to rewind his injuries, then traps him in a dense gravity field, overwhelming the demigod with a precision scepter strike.
Final round.
Prytonic stretches his belt into a cartoonishly massive slingshot, launching himself headfirst into Truckily, with enough force to shatter Truckily's cosmic barriers and leave the demigod unconscious.
Choose your character.
Spradling versus Random Marine.
Round 1.
Spradling's dimensional tricks falter as Random Marine anchors reality, locking the dwarf in place while waves of pain ripple through his body, rendering him powerless.
Round 2.
Using emotion manipulation, the Were-Gorilla amplifies Spradling's compulsive gambler nature, baiting an all-in strike, then counters with a chaos-fueled uppercut.
Choose your character.
Assos versus Quandel.
Round 1.
Quandale time travels ahead of Assos's scythe swing, appearing behind the Fool to deliver a critical strike with his Guandao.
Round 2.
Quandale strikes with his phase-shifting Guandao, but Assos size shifts smaller, slipping beneath the blow and countering with a chaos-fueled scythe swing.
Round 3.
Quandale teleports to deliver an unavoidable Guandao strike, but Assos's chaos form surges, letting the blow phase through before Assos's scythe send a void wave erasing Quandale from existence.
Choose your character.
Armili versus Palaison.
Round 1.
Armili fires a Chaos Meatball, but the dwarf slows time, then effortlessly swings his Magma Club, redirecting the meatball with amplified force straight through Armili's core.
Round 2.
Palaison shields himself with divine energy so he can close the gap without worrying about Armili's meatballs. He then unleashes a massive chaos sphere that obliterates the hive mind's shadow essence entirely.
Choose your character.
Blaze Ninja versus Musum.
Round 1.
Musam magnetizes Blaze Ninja's brick, pulling it toward him mid-swing before hurling it back with amplified force. The god blocks it, but fails to avoid the steaming honey bun following. Round 2. The god rewrites Musam's memories, convincing him he needs to eat the steaming honey bun to gain power. Instead, it burns him from the inside, distracting the gargoyle long enough for Blaze Ninja to hurl the brick at him, sending the gargoyle flying on impact. Round 3. The god hurls his brick, but Musam effortlessly voids it away, then amplifies his steaming honey bun with fire manipulation until it burns like a star, hurling it to incinerate the god entirely.
Choose your character.
Liam versus JT. Round 1. Liam prepares to combust, but JT possesses him, forcing him to ignite himself before delivering a seismic punch to finish him off. Round 2. Before Liam attempts to negate his powers, JT freezes time, teleports to strike with the frozen briefcase, and follows with a seismic blow, shattering Liam's iced body before he could even think about riposting. Impu versus JT. Round 1. JT ignites the fight with combusting flames, negating the dragon's powers, but Impu counters brutally, relying solely on raw stats to overwhelm the Soul Reaver. Round 2. JT freezes time and encases the dragon in a massive earthen boulder, then summons a colossal meteor to crush him as time resumes. Round 3. The dragon breathes a cosmic blast, but JT's invulnerability leaves him immaculate. Furious, the dragon follows with an acid lasso swing, but JT teleports swiftly and slams him with boundless strength. Round 4. The dragon vanishes with invisibility for a surprise attack, but JT uses blood manipulation to track his bleeding wound, then crafts a blood javelin infused with chaos that pierces the old injury and consumes the dragon from within.
Choose your character.
Sidhav versus Prytonic. Round 1. Prytonic dodges Sidhav's claws effortlessly with absurd moves, then uses teleportation to reappear above him and slam the were-tiger with a chaos belt strike that echoes like thunder. Round 2. Prytonic teleports erratically, but Sidhav tears a dimensional rift with his claws, trapping the demigod in an irradiated plane where relentless radiation blasts slowly erode his essence. Round 3. The were-tiger generates a blinding radioactive storm, forcing Prytonic to swing his belt blindly, only to fall victim to Sidhav's dimensional strike that pierces his chest. Round 4. Both fighters seem evenly matched as they exchange relentless blows. But when Prytonic lands a strike, Sidhav's amplified radiation burns him on contact, catching him off guard and allowing the tiger to unleash an unavoidable energy blast to finish him.
Choose your character.
Random Marine versus Palisant. Round 1. Palaisant slows time with Chrono Grace, sidesteps Random Marine's necrotic wave, and counters with a magma-enhanced club swing that sends the were-gorilla flying into a crater. Round 2. Palaisant deflects the time-warped sword strike with divine energy, then counters with a ki blast that staggers Random Marine and crushes him with a brutal chaos bat swing. Round 3. Random Marine projects a necrotic wave, eroding Palaisant's divine energy shield before channeling pain manipulation to amplify the dwarf's physical torment, leaving him an opening for a devastating strike. Round 4. Palaisant turns berserk after taking a massive hit. The devil keeps attacking but quickly realizes he can't handle the beast as the dwarf violently swings his magma bat, melting the devil gorilla's core in a single blow.
Choose your character.
Assos versus Musam. Assos hurls the steaming honey bun at Musam, but the gargoyle's magnetic manipulation pulls Assos's void scythe to deflect the projectile. He then mimics the steaming honey bun and charges forward to combust the cosmic fool.
Round 2.
Musam transforms into a colossal flaming honey bun, amplifying his form with fire manipulation, while cosmic forces pull Assos toward him, the fool melting away in the searing heat.
Round 3.
Assos sends a void wave with his scythe to divert Musam's focus, while sneakily hurling a microscopic steaming honey bun at him, enlarging it upon impact to scorch the gargoyle in an inferno.
Round 4.
Seeing his defeat approaching, Assos shrinks to an impossible size, slipping into the gargoyle's body and slashing relentlessly with his void scythe, leaving Musam writhing in agony from within.
Final round.
Musam rewrites Assos's memories, make him forget about his size-shifting powers, then uses mind control to claim the void scythe, turning it against the now defenseless fool to erase him from existence.
Choose your character.
Musam versus Sidhav.
Round 1.
As Sidhav charges with a heavy impact claw strike, Musam shrinks with size shifting, vanishing from view before mimicking the reality warping brick from his prior battle, enlarging it and smashing the were-tiger repeatedly from above.
Round 2.
Sidhav uses camouflage to ambush the gargoyle with a brutal close-range blast, but Musam absorbs the radiation entirely, swiftly countering with fire manipulation enhanced by the stolen radiation, creating a fiery radiation Big Bang that incinerates Sidhav, while Musam regenerates unscathed.
Round 3.
Musam mimics the steaming honey bun, blazing like a living sun as he charges, but Sidhav, radiating chaotic energy, withstands the inferno and hurls the blazing gargoyle skyward, then opens a dimensional rift to seal Musam forever.
Round 4.
Musam breaks through the dimension Sidhav tried to seal him in, leaving the were-tiger stunned as the gargoyle mimics his dimensional claws, combining them with void manipulation to banish the tiger to the eternal void.
Choose your character.
Palaisant versus JT.
Round 1.
As the dwarf strikes with his magma club, JT uses earth manipulation to raise a wall that deflects the blow, obscuring Palaisant's vision long enough for JT to teleport behind him and freezes him with a briefcase hit.
Round 2.
Palaisant corrupts reality to detect the invisible JT, blitzing toward him with his negation club. The Soul Reaver feigns terror, but activates invulnerability at the last second, then combusts the dwarf now that he is within range.
Round 3.
Seeing the dwarf go berserk, JT freezes time to strike, but Palaisant's berserk and corrupted force brute forces through the temporal hold. JT teleports away, but is oversped by the dwarf's slowed time, taking an obliterating key blast.
Round 4.
Palaisant strikes the ground, and a magma geyser erupts. JT teleports to dodge, but the dwarf warps his trajectory by corrupting reality, forcing him into a bat strike that halves his power mastery.
Final round.
As the dwarf turns berserk, JT vanishes into invisibility, enraging and distracting his opponent, then summons a black hole above him and teleports to land a seismic uppercut that launches the dwarf into the singularity. After almost 200 characters created and 1 month of tournament, let's see who's the strongest of character this season. The one who sold his soul. JT versus the devourer of hope, Musam.
Round 1.
JT begins the fight by teleporting behind Musam and delivering brutal cuts with sharpness before manipulating the gargoyle's blood to seal him within a prison forged from his own essence.
Round 2.
Musam mimics the arcane brick to amplify his power, then manipulates his molecular structure to escape the prison and reappears near Jai T with a devastating radiation blast.
Round 3.
As JT attempts another teleportation assault, Musam, already adapted to his movements, preemptively fires a void wave at his location, hitting the Soul Reaver hard and leaving him significantly weakened.
Round 4.
Dazed from the attack, JT watches Musam charge at cosmic speed in honeybun form. The Soul Reaver raises a massive earth wall to block the attack, but Musam morphs into the Void Scythe mid-charge, slashing through the wall and siphoning a portion of JT's IQ. Round 5. Forced to his limits, JT freezes time to regain control, encasing Musam in ice with a briefcase strike, before following up with a seismic blow that shatters the gargoyle into fragments. Round 6. Believing he won, JT watches in shock as the ice shards melt and Musam regenerates larger than before. Musam lands a colossal punch. JT attempts to freeze time again, but realizes Musam has adapted and is no longer affected. Round 7. Before JT can recover, Musam manipulates his memories, convincing him he's winning and that he overcame Musam's adaptation. Overconfident, JT teleports for a blitz attack, only to be intercepted mid-arrival by Musam's dimensional claws, delivering a devastating counter-strike. Round 8. Musam wants to keep the edge and hurls his unblockable steaming honey bun with cosmic speed. JT opens a portal to redirect it to another dimension, but the honey bun re-emerges behind him and burns him with devastating force. Round 9. Furious, JT amplifies his ki and teleports to strike Musam. The gargoyle anticipates his movement, but JT corrupts reality mid-teleportation, altering his trajectory to land a thunderous blow that buries Musam deep underground. Round 10. Before Musam can rise, JT bombards the crater with divine energy. Musam regenerates again, so JT resorts to combustion. Thinking he's immune, Musam is caught off guard, as JT's combustion also negates his powers, incinerating him completely. Round 11. Certain of victory, JT realizes too late that the Musam he defeated was a molecularly crafted clone. The real gargoyle, now adapted to power negation thanks to the clone's experience, charges forward with chaos force. JT activates his invulnerability, but Musam shrinks down and vanishes from the Soul Reaver's sight, only to re-emerge inside him and detonate with chaos, fire, and radiation, obliterating the Soul Reaver from within.